everybody. I'm Sophia Parola with the Garden State Film Festival, and here with me are the people behind the making of the TV pilot, Mount Mystic Rangers. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Doing good. Good to be here.
Hi.
What's up?
It's so great to have you all here. I'm so excited to talk about this. Before we get into the interview, I'd love for everyone just to introduce themselves and their title in this pilot.
Sure, I'll start. I'm Jeremiah Dunlap. I'm the creator and one of the executive producers, but I also directed and acted and starred as well.
Amazing. I'm Mindy Dunlap, and I executive produced, and also got to act in it as well.
Awesome.
Corey Quintard, and I am one of the executive producers and one of the co-writers of the screenplay of the pilot, and I also acted in it as well.
Awesome. I'm Seth Dunlap. I'm an executive producer, director of photography, and also Naked Guy 1 that's dancing around in one of the scenes.
Naked Guy 1, okay. So Jeremiah, I'd love, as the creator, for you to give our audiences a little synopsis about what this pilot's about.
Sure. This pilot is about a group of, we'll say, aloof park rangers who are stationed in a mysterious state park that is underfunded. And this pilot episode specifically is about an incoming lieutenant that this group of rangers kind of has to prepare their park for as he, comes in and gets ready for an inspection.
Amazing, so unique, interesting, and it's hilarious. Like I really was hooked as soon as it started. It's such a great comedy. How did you come up with this idea to talk about Rangers? Yeah,
we had been working on a film, actually, a non-park ranger feature-length film before COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, most of that movie was set indoors. So we realized we needed to find something else to do that we could film outdoors. And I've had a fascination with park rangers my entire life. I've just thought they were just really interesting people, and I've met a few, and it's always a really unique experience. And I felt like no one had really told their story correctly yet. So when we came up with this idea, it felt like a perfect opportunity to play around with some of the things you do know about park rangers, and some of the things that you might assume, but also how much you don't know about park rangers. Because as we started to do research, we found that, fact was way stranger than fiction when it came to coming up with stuff. So it just felt like a fascinating world that hadn't been explored yet.
Wow, and that's so amazing. And now you and Corey were both writers for this episode. So what was that like, collaborating on a script? And you also edited together as well, correct?
We did, yeah. The script collaboration process was really fun with Corey. Corey and I have known each other since high school, and we've worked in a lot of different capacities as artistic partners. So this was just another one of our ways to experiment. But it was a really great process. The show itself is actually majority improv. We didn't really write much dialogue at all. So Corey and I spent a really long time coming up with a very specific outline of what would happen in every scene, but none of the performers or actors saw it ahead of time. So him and I were the only ones who kind of knew what was coming. And Corey, I'll let you talk a little bit. That was a kind of unique process for us.
Yeah, as far as the co-writing process and what it looked like, basically Jeremiah wrote the first draft of it, and then he sent it over to me, and I kind of subtracted some things and added some things, and basically rebuilt it from the ground up. And we ended up doing that 4 or 5 times, sending it back and forth just to try to get each sketch of the episode in the top form that we could get it into. And I think we ended up probably 8 or 9 drafts before we shot it. And then, as Jeremiah said, it ended up where 85% improv, and then there was maybe a 10% of the lines that were written before. So it was an incredibly collaborative process with everybody, but we tried to write the situations and the sketches as tight as we could so that everybody kind of had an idea of where it was going, where the joke was, and where it needed to end up. So everyone I think really enjoyed that process too, of kind of getting to write their own part because they were improvising their dialogue and saying it the way that they wanted their character to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I love hearing that because watching it, it was one of the things, like, I thought the writing, which I assumed was the writing, was amazing, and the actors were just elevating that writing. But that's so unique that this was all improv. So Mindy and Corey and Jeremiah, you all acted in this. What was that like, being in that environment with all these amazing actors, having the freedom to improv? Mindy, what was this experience like for you?
Well, for me, since it was a first for me, it was a little scary, but it was so fun. And our whole team, I'm just comfortable with all of them. And so, like, you really had the freedom to be yourself. And it was just so fun. And we would just laugh the whole time, basically.
And what Mindy said is actually true for a lot of us, in that none of us had ever improvised before. A lot of us weren't even official actors. Corey and I just based all these characters on the actual actors that were portraying them for the majority of the roles. And so when we wrote a character like Dupree, who's kind of this witch of the woods, who's, just a very open and interesting character, that was based, on personality traits of the actor, Sally Anderson, who plays her. So we kind of gave everyone permission to find this unique part of your personality and amplify it, like really turn it up and kind of, don't, the filter you put on in real life to like be a normal person, like take that off. And kind of go through these environments, and don't try to be funny. Just try to be in the scene. And we got really fortunate that all the actors and improvisers, and a lot of them, like our sound guy played one of the fishermen who gets arrested. Like, he literally put the boom mic down and got in there and started improvising. So, it was very, the crew and the cast, there wasn't much difference between.
Yeah, I think one thing we did at the start of every day, which was really cool, was we all did like a ton of improv games. So everyone it kind of broke the barrier from the production team to the actors, and like it just kind of made everything feel like just a big family getting together and making this really weird thing where everyone's kind of like the most unhinged version of themselves.
Wow. And Corey, I mean, what was that like for you, acting in something that you had a hand in writing and improvising, and what was this experience like?
It was weird playing the two roles because I had never really acted before, and kind of as in my writer mind the whole time I'm trying to like think of ideas for how we can infuse something special into the scene. And so I'm kind of like thinking of other scenes that we're about to shoot, and I'm thinking of the scene that I have to be in right now. And it was definitely a complicated like balancing act, but this kind of acting, because it was so improvised, it really forced you to like be in the moment in the scene. So that kind of, you were able to bring it back for the scene. And it honestly was just a blast to be able to do both. And I never really thought of myself as an actor in any way or anything. So it was really fun to just explore that.
No, I'm amazed that, Mindy, this was your first time. Corey, that you got, I'm truly amazed. It was so natural. And I guess that exudes to the directing and the improv games and making them just how they are in real life. It's really amazing. Seth, you also wore many hats in this TV pilot. What was it like being DP? I saw you were a colorist, and you were also Naked Man #1. So what was this like for you?
Was dropping all my clothes in front of all my friends and just being like, this is me, I'm free to be me. It was honestly so much fun. Me and Jeremiah and Corey have worked together a ton. We went to Africa a few years ago. We did a documentary for this company called IJM. And I think we've gotten into a really good groove of just like, hey, let's go make this thing. Let's try to use available light, and let's just try to get the most interesting shot as possible. But also, I think one thing with the cinematography, it's a mix between, Parks and Rec and The Office, of just like, this cameraman's just trying to follow whatever the crazy crap that's going on. So I think I really tried to just kind of put myself in the scenes, because I'm also an actor as well. And that's one thing I really like to bring to the cinematography, is like, how can I make it feel like this person is kind of watching all this happen for the very first time. And I kind of felt like there's a few scenes in Mount Mystic Rangers where it's like there's one zoom that might enhance a joke. So I always try to like use the cinematography in a way where it like enhances the acting or a joke that needs to happen.
It absolutely did. And because a lot of it was improv, was that like what it was? You just kind of following what was going on, or did you know what you were going to do?
What does this character do? And I'm going to zoom into it. What we did is like, so it was 2 cameras for most of everything. And we had basically my camera as the one that was a little more floaty and zooming and trying to find weird specific moments. And then Josiah, which also he played the cop in the film, in Mount Mystic Rangers, the one that Corey's kind of butting heads with. He was our second camera op. So he's such an amazing filmmaker. So we kind of had him on like a lens where he's just getting coverage, and then I would kind of try to find the weird, funny moments.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And all of you in this Zoom room were also executive producers. And you said you're working on a film before. You guys did a documentary in Africa, which is so awesome. How different is it producing a TV pilot compared to the things you've done in the past?
It's very different, but it's also a lot of it was the same. You know, what we really learned, we all own a production company together, and what we've learned through our production company and just doing client work is how to like meet deadlines and how to bring crews together. You know, how to ask for favors is a great skill to have as an independent filmmaker. And so this really felt like, because we had been planning to do a movie, and I think the movie was about 110 pages and, we had to film it over a few months. This really changed the game because the nature of television is so fast paced, and the type of show we created actually made it really easy to be scrappy because it's all through the lens of like a documentary filmmaker who has no support team with him. So we were able to like make it. I think we shot the whole thing in 5 days. We did 1 day in South Carolina and then 2 separate like 2-day sessions at the state park where we filmed here, where they made Ernest Goes to Camp. I want to bring that up in every interview. We filmed in the same park they made Ernest Goes to Camp in. So yeah, it's a very different process, and that we moved really fast, but it's very similar in that you're using all the same skills and you're still trying to create great scenes with good moments in them.
So yeah, you filmed in South Carolina, Tennessee. Is that where that
is? Tennessee, yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So what persuaded you guys to submit this to Garden State Film Festival, and how does it feel to be accepted into a New Jersey film festival, one of the biggest in Jersey? How does it feel?
It feels awesome. It feels so great. We're so excited about coming to New Jersey. It's so exciting for us to be included in this festival. And, once we finish the film, we've never finished anything this big before. Like everything, we've always done shorts, or we've done, client work that is, again, all under 10 minutes. So finishing something that is, right now, 25, 26 minutes long felt like a gargantuan achievement. So we didn't really even know what to do next. And we're like, well, I wonder if festivals even care about TV pilots. We didn't even know that the festival route was an option for us. We just really wanted to make this pilot. So the fact that we've, discovered that Garden State Film Festival had a TV pilot, like a whole area for us to be, was like so exciting and surprising, and just felt like, a cool opportunity to even submit for. So getting accepted is like, we're shocked, being at anything is surprising, and we're honored and humbled.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, anybody want to laugh? I mean, I'm not shocked. It's clear that this pilot can go many, many places. I want to ask you guys where you see this going. Like, what's the ideal platform? Before we wrap up, if anyone wants to jump in to that question or the last question, please do.
I have a tendency to take over an interview. So let's see.
Jeremy, I think you should answer.
Okay, cool, great.
I got it.
Now that I have permission, I will take it. Yeah. I mean, we would love to make this obviously an entire show. We'd love to find a streamer or a network who can kind of see what we see in it and can help us to create something that still feels like this. We'd love to work with the people that we worked with on it and kind of bring our team up to the next level with us. So we would love to see it. You know, we're big fans of IFC and of FX, and you know, we love that style of comedy of like What We Do in the Shadows and Portlandia. So we'd love to you know, live in the same world they live in, you know, if there's room for us.
I think there definitely is room. If there's not, they have to make room. I'm not even just saying this. It's such a good TV pilot. Very interesting, very unique. I haven't seen something like it. And you have a wonderful crew and cast who apparently interchanged between the both.
Yeah.
So that's just amazing. I cannot congratulate you guys enough. I'm sure you're all very, very proud, and you should be. So thank you for taking some time out to talk to us. We could talk all day, but let me tell everybody how they can watch Mount Mystic Rangers.
Great.
It will be playing in Asbury Lanes Saturday, March 26th in the film block from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. So hope everybody can make it and enjoy this awesome pilot. Congratulations again, guys, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. We'll see you. We'll see you in March.
See ya.
All right. Bye.
Bye.